Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, please do me a favor and subscribe. That would really help us out. Father and Son podcast, small town West Virginia. We're working really hard to bring you great interviews, and we've got hundreds of them. So if you like this one, please subscribe. But please also check out some of the other ones. I think you'll find a ton of people that you really, really will enjoy. You can find all of our stuff on our website, Meisterkhan.com, and make sure you keep an eye out for Meisterkhan and Too Opinionated on all social media. It's a safe haven for your inner geek. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress Mecia Simson with me. So welcome, Mecia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this. I was so excited when you said yes, and we had to figure out the time zone thing, but we did that.
Yeah, we've managed.
We've managed. It's dinner time for you. It's lunchtime for me.
Yeah.
So I always like to start here, Mecia. You've had two careers already. So you were a winner of Britain's Top Model back in the past, and then you transitioned into acting. So talk a little bit about, what made you want to become a model, and then why did you decide that you would move over to acting?
Yeah, I think I'd always been really interested in the entertainment industry. And as a kid, I always wanted to act. I used to beg my mum to take me to like a drama school. And, I did some Saturday schools when I was younger. But then growing up, me and my mum used to watch America's Next Top Model. So watched that. And then we saw the British one come out and I was like, oh, I want to do this. I'd love to do that. So yeah, I applied and I didn't get through for the first. I think I applied for season 4, didn't get through to that one. I applied for season 5 and I got through and won it. So that was a nice little bonus. And yeah, like I said, the acting, I've always wanted to be an actress. So I did my career as a model, and the more information I got on how to actually get into the acting industry, the more I kind of took on, and I started doing workshops and all of that, and then just ended up here where I am now.
Yeah, I think that's so fascinating. What do you think changed from season 4 to season 5? Because like you would think if you couldn't get in on season 4 and you got in on season 5, you probably aren't going to win because you didn't get in a year ago.
Yeah, I know.
But you won.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably confidence changed. I think I was 18 when I applied the first time.
Yeah.
Probably very sheltered as well. And then 19, I was like, right, I'm really going to go for it this time and just battle those nerves and just see what happens. Yeah.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. And you're right. Like when you're 18 and you're kind of clueless.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure stuff out and you're not as confident. And there's something about that 19, 20. It's just like I don't know. You just kind of grow up just a little bit and having that previous exposure. Yeah, just a little bit. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's almost like at that age, it's kind of blind confidence because you're confident, but you haven't done anything yet.
Yeah. Just fake it to make it. That's that
right. Kind of so when you were growing up, I mean, did you do any theater, or did you did you participate in sports? What were you doing when you were in school?
Well, when I went to the little drama school that I used to go to when I was, it was a Saturday school as a kid, the first play I did was called Fiddler on the Roof. And there's an actual video of me because I was playing a boy and a girl. And when I played the boy, I had to have a hat on. And when I was the girl, I had to take the hat off. And I remember I just finished playing the boy, and then I went on to play the girl, and I still had the hat on. And I just remember standing there, just looking out into the audience and going, oh no, I've still got the hat on. And I was just like, slowly took it off. And you can just see the thought process in the video. It's just so funny. So that I was doing that. Yeah. And then again, athletics was a big thing for me at school. I've always been into sports, love sports. So that was
What did you play?
My main thing was 100-meter sprint.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was always short distance rather than a long distance runner. And then long jump as well. And relay was my one as well.
Yeah, that's pretty. So I was very similar when I was in school. I did long jump and I did the sprints. So I was the 400 meter. I got to run that one on my own, the one lap around. But then I was the slow guy on the relay teams. I was fast enough to be on them, but I was the slowest of the four of us.
Yeah. Okay. Oh God. So did you start first then as the slowest? Usually it's the last, fastest is the last, I think.
Yeah, I think they usually ran me second.
Right, second.
They would run somebody that was, could kind of keep them in the race. And then my job was just not to screw us up too bad.
Yeah.
You were probably an anchor.
I was the last person in the relay race usually. So I feel like that's the most pressure, because especially when you're watching your peers, you're like, oh no, we're losing. Like you can see how much you've got to catch up on. Yeah,
it is. When I got to do that on the 4x4, so because that was my race, so I got to I was the last one on that one. But the rest of them, I'm pretty sure I was second, because I think that was where for our school, they put the slowest guy in.
Yeah, I think that makes sense actually. Been a long time, so
I was that guy that was putting all the pressure on the last person to make it up.
Yeah, so you were the one. I know you people.
Yeah.
Makes the game exciting anyway, so
track's a lot of fun. Practice not so much, but the actual event's pretty good.
Good. Oh, I love it. I actually miss it.
Yeah, I do too. And it's been, for me, like 35 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So this has been probably 10, 12 years ago, but I still, at that point, thought I was pretty fast. I was like, I'm still pretty fast. Well, then, my daughter was starting track. She's starting to run track. And I'm like, well, let's test you out. Let's race.
Yeah.
Well, she beat me and it wasn't really even close. And I was like, I must not have started at the same time as you. Something must have happened. There's no, so we tried it a couple more times. It got worse every time. So that's when I realized, okay, I'm not fast.
Isn't it? You do think in your head, you just remember how fast you were back then. And you're like, well, I'm exactly the same. But things change.
All I could think the whole time was just don't fall down. Just don't fall down. I was more worried about that than actually running.
Than actually winning.
So I think, and you tell me different, I saw you on Brave New World before The Witcher. Yeah. So was that your first role?
Yeah, that was my first role coming out of drama school. Yeah. So I had a little something to kind of, give me a little bit of experience before I went on to like the huge Witcher.
It's such a big jump. And I liked you on Brave New World. I thought you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It was a little thing. So
you got in there a little bit. Yeah, but then when I saw you the next time, it's on The Witcher and it's like 100 times bigger.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get all the makeup and outfits, all that on? How much time were you spending on that before you started to shoot?
Yeah, I think I was in makeup probably about 2.5 hours. So I'd be the first person in and then the last person out. But actually, I don't think 2.5 hours is too bad. I think there are worse times. So it's not bad.
Not great though.
Yeah, I remember my pickup time. The earliest one I had was like, I think it's like 2:30 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning to just get there because we had to do.
By the time I got everything on,
and
it was time to shoot, I'd need a nap.
Yeah, you do. There's quite a lot of waiting around, so you do get opportunity too sometimes.
Yeah, that's a lot. But now you didn't have like the full face covering or anything. So at least you didn't have, anything where you had to wear something.
Well, yeah, exactly. I still had my mouth so I could eat and drink. So that was good.
Yeah. Did you have to wear contacts?
Yes. So I got contact lenses in, but with those, I only have them in when I'm filming, and then we'll take them out when I'm not being seen, or, you have to take them out every 4 hours just to give your eyes a rest. So yeah, I mean, you get used to them, but they're not the most comfiest of things to wear.
Do you wear contacts normally?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, used to it.
Yeah.
And
I know it feels like somebody's got their finger in your eye when you first put them in, when you're not.
Yeah, that's it. And because they're colored lenses, so they are thicker. They're not like your usual reading glasses lenses, which are probably thinner. So you feel them constantly. I don't know what it's like for reading lenses, but
yes. Yeah, it's one of those. I've been wearing contacts for 40 years, and I still know they're in there. They don't bother me. I'm used to it. But I know they're in there. It's not like you're going around without them in there, When I was in the 8th grade, I decided that, I was starting at that point, I was starting to get interested in girls, and I was like, I need something that's going to make me different, that's going to make me stand out. So I got the aqua collared contact lenses.
Oh yeah.
Which did make me stand out, but it made it, it was almost scary because they were so, it was a collar that wasn't natural.
Yeah.
So you could see me coming like 100 yards away.
Yeah. I definitely noticed then, at least.
Yeah, I got noticed. I don't know that it helped me at all. So that didn't last very long, but for a little while. So let's talk a little bit about The Witcher. So season 2 ended not too long ago. It was terrific. Your character, one of the more popular characters, I think, especially getting introduced this season. Spoilers, I guess we should say spoilers, but
yeah,
she's got a rough story arc. Like, she gets a little rough by the end of it.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she goes through a lot. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's an emotional roller coaster for sure.
Yeah. So I had read where you did the birth and the death same day.
Yeah, I did.
What was that like? Because it's 2 completely different emotions.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was a very heavy day because, again, I'm not like the kind of person that can just like switch into a mood. I kind of need to ease my way into it, listen to music, and myself in the mind frame. So yeah, we had a break. I think it was probably like we shot 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. So I had a lunchtime break to, reprogram myself. But yeah, it was a really exhausting day.
It sounds exhausting. Did you sleep well that night, or did it bother you?
Oh no, I slept well that night for sure. Definitely. Okay. Yeah.
That's just, I don't know how you do that. The joy and the pain of it all in one. That's a lot.
Yeah, my body must be like, what is going on? My brain's probably, I don't know.
Yeah. So I think I had seen you mention this in a different interview, but have you heard anything more about the buns? Are we going to get the buns in season 3? Yeah.
Well, you know what? I don't want to release any spoilers. I would be open to the buns. I don't know what Deb's got in store for me, to be honest. So yeah, we will have to see. We'll have to see what she comes up with.
The hairstyles in season 2 were pretty great.
They're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
They do such a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. For Francesca and for all of them, really, really good. You believe that you're actually in this, time, whatever that time period is, but this fantasy atmosphere, the costumes, the hair, the accents, everything just really fits well, I think, into that world.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Not too bad. I had heard that you had played a little bit of one of the Witcher games.
Yeah, I did. I think it was Wild Hunt 3. I know my dad loves the game, so he had them. So when I was at his house one day, I gave it a little go. I didn't go into depth though. So I've seen like videos on YouTube. Yeah. And there's a lot that I didn't see, but I mean, the game looks great. I think I was playing Geralt and he was going around picking up all the like herbs and stuff for his potions. That's basically what I did on there.
Yeah. I've tried the games. You know, my kids will play them. It's not that easy. I'm not very good at it. I like to watch them play because kind of interesting.
Yeah. I'm not great at gaming either. When I was younger, yeah.
Well, that's it. You know, when I was younger, it was an Atari. So I always tell them, well, if you want to get an Atari out, I could probably still play that. But then again, yeah, the Atari was the one from back in the 80s that just had a joystick.
Oh my God.
It'd be like
I think I know
Pac-Man and
that's so
Space
cool.
Invaders and that stuff. But now I think I could still play that, but then I thought I could run still too. So
so you never know.
Yeah, probably not. So what was it like on set? You know, how did the cast get along on camera? You know, watching it, it looks like you've got a pretty good rapport. Like everybody is fitting in really well. But how was it on set?
Yeah, no, honestly, really, like everyone got on so well, and there's so many different personalities on there. So many so many funny people. Like, yeah, it's just such a nice environment to work in. The production, the directors, the writers, actors, everyone's so lovely. So yeah, you just have a lot of fun with it.
That's pretty great. Was there anybody in the cast that, I mean, because you're fairly new to acting, anybody in the cast that when you met them, you were like, ooh, it's so-and-so? Did you fangirl in?
I mean, when I met Henry, I definitely was like, well, that is Henry Cavill.
It's Superman.
So definitely knew it's Superman, yeah. So but you get used to it because, you know, like you realize you're there to do a job and, you know, we're all in the same boat. So yeah.
You know, everybody says that. You know, we've done a few hundred of these interviews. Everybody always says that. And in my head, I'm like, I would not be able to act just because I would never get out of that fan mode. I'd just be following people around.
Taking pictures.
Just a quick selfie and then we can get to the I'd get like one job and then that'd be it. They'd have to ban. Any expectations, you know, of where your storyline will go for season 3?
So yeah, I just hope that Francesca just keeps on soaring and, like, you know, I hope she gets what she wants, because at the end of the day, she's looking for a home for her people, for a place for her people to live. So yeah, we'll see. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to,
you got to be careful with that. Yes. Right. You don't want to spoil it. As fans, we want to know everything, but still be surprised.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I know that feeling. I know.
But you know, by the end of season 2, you know, because for at least us in our household, we were rooting for you for most of the season, and then at the end, you kind of went off the rails there, and we're like,
I know.
Oh, no, that was rough.
Yeah, I know. She took a U-turn.
Yes, it was a very dark turn, and I get it. I get the motivation. But wow.
Even when I was reading it, it was very unexpected, because before I actually had the last episodes, people from production were telling me that this was going to happen, that she goes on like a baby killing rampage, and I just couldn't understand, because I'd only read the first few episodes and I just couldn't understand how it went from that to that. So I was just like, I really need to get on with these scripts to see what happens. So yeah, it was a shocker.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think, and probably fun to portray, you know, her dealing with the consequences of what she's done. Yeah,
definitely. Gave me a lot of juice. Yeah,
because you know that at some point it's going to affect her.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no way that could happen and not, you know, if you're a real person, there's no way that can not affect you. So I know the writing's so good. We're going to see her.
Yeah. And your moral compass, surely it's got to affect you in some way. Yeah.
And how do you come back from that?
I honestly don't know. That's the thing. That is the question, isn't it? That's like, surely like you don't come back from something like that.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't think, but I just have this feeling that she's going to redeem herself at some point.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out. Maybe she just keeps going that direction.
Yeah.
You'll have to start wearing the darker clothes and look more, menacing.
Yeah.
Did you read any type of fantasy type of books growing up?
I'm sure I read some of the Harry Potter books. I'm just trying to remember actually. Yeah. Oh, Twilight. I loved Twilight. I was obsessed with those books when I was a kid. And like obviously
you're probably the right age for that too, because it was, I mean, people they'll joke about it now, but it was a phenomenon when it was first coming out. It was huge.
Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved the books. It was so good.
Yeah. My daughters both were just crazy about Twilight. And then when the movies came out, they'd read the books and then the movies came out, and that was, it's the first time I think that you saw women and girls, kind of fanning out at the movie theaters, standing in line waiting for the movies and dressing up and doing all that. Used to kind of nerdy guys doing some of that, but this crossed over and brought, now it's not that big a deal. It kind of, everybody likes everything, but back then that was really the first time we saw women participating in that type of thing. It's kind of neat.
yeah, it's great. Anything fantasy, I love fantasy, vampires, witches, I love it all.
So were you team Edward or team Jacob?
I think because I fancied Edward, I was team Edward, but like I also respect team Jacob. It's a hard decision. But I think I'm a vampire girl. That's probably why.
Yeah. When you went to the theater to see the first one, did you dress up?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, no, I actually didn't. Sorry, I wish I could say I did.
Yeah. What's it like playing an elf?
I love it. It's just great. She's got magical powers. She's otherworldly. The ears are great. I love it. The hair. But I guess I try to humanize her though, because obviously she is an elf, and I don't think elves are real. Maybe they are. I don't know.
As far as we know.
Yes, well, no, they might be. So I apologize if they are real. But just try to humanize her as well.
Well, you did a great job. For somebody that's so new to acting, I mean, it's really impressive the range of emotions. And I thought you said a lot, just with your facial expressions, even without saying anything.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Thank you.
It's really good.
Right.
You did good. You did. Any plans in the future to go back and do theater?
Do you know what? I would absolutely love to do theatre. I've only ever done theatre, obviously, when I was a kid, which was a school production, but then at drama school as well, when I was doing my end of year shows. It's the only time I did theatre. So I would love to do, go to the West End and do some of that. It's a different ball game. It's very nerve-wracking. The adrenaline just pumps through you. And I think that's what I like about it. And it's, live. So you just have to go with it. You just have to go with the wind, no matter what happens.
Yeah, there's no second take.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty scary, but
fun. I think I've always been a fan of theater, and just that connection between the actors and the audience, because you're so close together.
And that's what I love about it as well. Pardon?
Do you sing?
I had to sing when I was at drama school. That was part of our thing. So I don't know what, I can sing, but I'm one of those people that I'm not a singer, like a West End singer.
But if you had to for like a musical, you could hold your own.
could, but I haven't got the strength of a lead singer, I would say. So not the lead singer, but I could do it. few glasses of wine and then I'll be there.
There's not enough wine on the planet for me to get up in front of people and sing.
Yeah, it's
No
a
way.
different thing. It's very exposing.
It's funny because if you're an actor, you're used to performing, you're used to being up in front of somebody. But then if you change it up and you ask them to sing, some, no problem. But if you're not really a singer, that's a whole different type of pressure.
Oh, it really is. It is. Because you have to act and sing, and you think, as an actor, you should be able to act and sing. But I don't know, it's like doing that. When you tap your head, that's what it's like for me anyway. So yeah, we've got a little bit of, I'm gonna have to work on that a little bit.
Yeah, got to work on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there a genre that you haven't played yet, but you would like to try?
I would love to do action, just do a real tough, martial artist. Oh, I'd love that. I was saying to my partner the other day that ever since I was a kid, I always dreamt of being a stunt woman as well. I've got many dreams. And I think what it was just like the fight choreography that attracted me to it. So I would love that. And action.
Have you got any experience with martial arts?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I did a bit of karate, but I've got martial arts in my family, and I've done quite a lot of boxing because my partner's also a boxing coach, so we'll do that together.
So did that help you? Did you have to do any type of training before The Witcher? Did you have to do any of your own stunts, anything like that?
No, so no stunts. There was no stunts for Francesca in season 2, so none of that. I was hoping for, but
maybe season 3.
Yeah, you never know.
Did they so they didn't run you through any type of training ahead of time? You didn't have to do weight training or anything like that?
No, there was none of that. I know some people, if they have to ride horses and stuff, they do some riding lessons and all of that, which is quite exciting. But no, for me, we did a couple of rehearsals for the scenes, but there wasn't anything for me there wasn't any fight scenes or anything like that for me.
You let them know that you could box. Maybe they'd let her knock somebody out.
Shouldn't I? Yeah, they might let me.
That's a really good skill to have, I think, and not easy. The boxing, I've tried a little bit of that, and it's so exhausting. It's not just learning to throw a punch is hard enough, but then besides that, actually, getting in there and moving around for a couple of minutes and throwing punches, exhausting.
I think it's the best exercise. I always say that to anyone that really wants to get fit. Boxing's the best, because literally you just you do 3 minutes on a bag and you're dead. And the classes that I do, they're an hour and a half long, so you've got to try and reserve energy.
Yeah. And I used to watch boxing a lot growing up, and it you watch these guys and you're 10 3-minute rounds. What's the problem? Why do you look so tired? Try doing anything for half an hour.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Did you have a British boxer that you liked while you were growing up, or that your dad liked?
Oh God, I'm so terrible with remembering names. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. There definitely was. Yeah, there would be for sure.
Yeah. For me, growing up, I think the closest I can think of probably Lennox Lewis was probably somewhere, and then Ricky Hatton, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. I remember Ricky Hatton. Yeah.
My wife actually got she works for Live Nation, and she got to see Ricky fight in Manchester when she was over in Manchester, and got to.
That's so cool. Oh, that's wicked.
Fight, and just she didn't know anything about boxing. She could have cared less about who was boxing, but the atmosphere, just being in the crowd and kind of you get caught up in the emotion and stuff, even if you're not a fan. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I think that's what I loved about it. It's just the atmosphere, really. Because my stepdad was he was English kickboxing champion all those many moons ago.
Oh, gosh.
So I used to go and watch some of the fights and his friends fight, and I know it seems so brutal because people are just beating each other up, but I don't know, I just love the atmosphere. So for me, it's just watching. Yeah.
Yeah. Kickboxing, whole nother level.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we need to see though in season 3. We need you to do like a spinning kick and knock somebody out.
And a backflip. Yeah.
Yes. Something completely unexpected.
Yeah, definitely.
We got to get her moving around some.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
She needs a sword.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. we'll put it in the suggestion box.
Yeah, I'm throwing it out there. Somebody may hear and they'll be like, yes, a sword with a backflip and a kick. Yes.
Yeah.
So could you ride horses ahead of time?
So yeah, when I was younger, when I was like 14, 15, I used to ride horses. My best friend at school, she had her own horses and I used to go up with her and ride. But it's that thing that we were saying that, when you feel like, oh, I used to do that, so I'm really good at it.
Right.
So yeah, a couple of years ago, I went horse riding with my auntie because I was like, yeah, I'm a horse rider. I always tell everyone I ride horses. And I was really scared. I got on the horse and they all went off cantering and I thought I could do it, but I could barely, I was okay in a trot, but if the horse went any faster than that, I was just the fear that you have when you get older is just insane. It changes.
It does. It's because you get smarter and you understand what could happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How sore were you after?
I wasn't too bad, actually.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then that's when it has been too long since you have tried something.
Yeah.
If you're really sore, you're like, okay, it's been too long.
Yeah.
Okay, Mecia. So before we wrap up, and thank you so much for doing this. What do you have upcoming? Is there anything that you have going on that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
At the moment, I haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. So just doing auditions.
Very nice. Are you doing them remotely?
Remotely, yes. Yeah, I am. Yeah. We have to, their auditions we just film them and send them in at the moment because I don't think casting directors are really having anyone in their offices at the moment.
No. What do you think about that? Because like for me, I would think it would help that I could redo. If I wasn't happy with it, I could kind of redo, although I'd probably obsess about it and take way too long getting something on tape, which probably wouldn't be good. But I know a lot of actors like having someone to act off of. Yeah. What's your preference?
The same thing, because you can just keep redoing it and you're doing it on your time. You do end up, you do quite a lot. But luckily for me, I've got my partner here that can help me with my tapes. He's an actor as well as
Oh, very nice.
So yeah, I have someone to bounce off of. But it would be nice to go back in the room just because sometimes, you send off a tape and it might not be quite right. Whereas if you're in the room with a casting director, they can tell you just to tweak it.
Yeah, they can direct you a little bit.
They can direct you a little bit as to what, make sure that you're not going too off page. So that's the only thing about doing the tapes at home.
Yeah, I could see that because if you send it off and it's not quite what they're looking for, they're probably just going to move on. But if you're right there in front of them, they might say, well, that was good, but can you do it this way?
Well, that's it, because they can't contact everyone to redirect. So
can't they? Come on.
Yeah, I know. I wish.
Well, last thing, Mecia, before you go. Well, okay, two things I forgot to ask. Do you have any plans to get back into modeling at some point?
Yeah, I am with an agency at the moment, so okay. I am doing that. I literally just did a shoot recently, just because the pictures in my book they're so old, and I haven't modeled for a while, so getting some new fresh images and just putting myself out there because I think it goes hand in hand, really, the acting and the modeling. So yeah, definitely, I'll keep doing it until I can.
Well, yeah, and I would think that those two, some things, if you were trying to do at the same time, be very difficult. But acting, modeling, you could almost do them simultaneously. You may have a little gap in there, but the modeling, especially, probably not as long a time period each time.
Yeah. There's
Yeah, not too bad. Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much, Mecia. Where can we find you on social media?
So I'm on Instagram. It's just my name, Mecia Simson. Again, same for Twitter. And then I've got a Facebook page as well, so you can find me on there.
Well, you're all over the place, and you're pretty lucky to get just your name. That's not always easy.
Yeah, I know, actually it isn't. It's the spelling of my name though. I haven't really met many people with my spelling. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, that's helpful though.
Yeah, exactly. I thank my mum and my dad.
Yeah, they did a good job because that's a very actor way of spelling it, I think.
Yeah.
Because you want something that's going to make you stand out just a little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Good job, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, I mean, most people just don't know how to pronounce it. That's all. So
yeah, well, that's a whole nother story.
Yes, it is.
I pronounced it right though, didn't I?
You did. You actually did.
Okay. I got worried. I was like, oh no. All right, Mecia, hold on one second. Right. So that was Mecia Simson. How talented is she? It's not an easy transition from model to acting. And she's so good at acting. You know, if you haven't watched The Witcher yet, I can't imagine you haven't. But if you haven't, do yourself a favor and check that out. She is, in my opinion, the best part about season 2. She is outstanding and obviously very good at the modeling as well. So really just a very impressive person that I know we're going to see so much more of going forward. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. That was a big one for me. We've been working hard to get some of the Witcher cast onto the program, and we've got more coming. So if you're a fan of The Witcher, make sure you subscribe, because that'll let you know when those other interviews post, and also will let you know when we have anything else that comes up. You know, if you guys haven't done so yet, you could help us out by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Meisterkhan Pod. We're working really hard to improve those numbers. Those numbers matter. That allows us to get bigger and better things and attract, more people as guests to the show and to market the program. You know, we've been working on this for a while, so that's an easy way that you can help us out, and it's free. Just subscribe, YouTube, Meisterkhan Pod, and also on the audio side, wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe. That would help us out. You can find all 350 episodes on our website, meisterkhan.com. There's a fun blog from Brett that's available on there. There's, anything that we have upcoming. If we're doing anything in the studio, if we're going on location somewhere, if we're covering a convention, all of that will be on the website, meisterkhan.com. So thank you guys so much. Until next time, bye, everybody.